Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom and you're watching SBR Picks. Swansea host Sunderland on Saturday. Now, both teams won their last Premier League matches, with a surprise coming from the Swans when they beat Southampton at St Mary's Stadium 1-0. We have value on the winners market, but is that the best play, or are there other markets to consider? SBR contributor and sports writer Lee Phelps joins us now to give us his rundown of the match. Now, Lee, the three-way line has the Swans priced 1.91 there to win, the draws priced 3.6, and Sunderland 4.8. Who do you predict will win?
I think it'll be a draw, to be honest with you. And that's not just sitting on the fence. I just think both teams have got a couple of problems. And I wonder if, despite the win from Swansea, they were pretty much outplayed for the entire match. So they're great that they got the win, not decrying that at all. But I don't think it will have built their confidence that much as a team, if you know what I mean. They were great that they took the 3 points, but they had very few chances. It was a good effort from John Joe Shelby that won the game, but Southampton really should have. If their final ball in the final third would have been better, they would have been out of sight, I think. Now, Sunderland are interesting because Jermaine Defoe's come in and I think he's given them a real boost. They've changed the formation to accommodate him a little bit, and he's scored his first goal for the club. So I think Sunderland will improve a little bit. I think Swansea maybe come back down a tiny bit, and I think we could see a draw here. I could see both teams scoring, but I could see a draw. Swansea, interestingly, have dropped more points, having been in the leading games, than any other team in the Premier League, 16. So I could see the fact that that they may well take the lead. I think Sunderland may well peg them back. Maybe a 1-1, maybe a 2-2.
How confident are you about the draw? Confident enough to actually bet it?
Yeah, I am, because I must admit I've struggled to call Swansea, week in, week out, whether I go for the win or the loss. So I just think that I'm not confident enough to back either team to win, I guess is what I'm saying. I think Swansea are at home. They've got the home advantage, of course, and I know they're without Boney, and I know they're without Sigurdsson. The two arguments that I made why they would lose to Southampton, they're still without those players, but they showed that they could cope without them, and I think they'll do the same thing again. I think they will cope without them, and we may see some of the new signings come in. I think for Sunderland, I'm not convinced they're going to go to Swansea and beat them, but I think they can stay in the game. That's why I can't quite make an argument for either team, so I think the draw is a fair result.
All right. Well, last meeting ended in a scoreless draw. You were mentioning there maybe a 1-1. Could you see as high as a 2-2? Where do you lean on the over under 2.5 goals?
Yeah, I could. I'm looking at the overs. I could easily go to that because I think with Jermaine Defoe in the team, they are more attacking all of a sudden. Sunderland they've suddenly started scoring goals, especially away from home. So they have got goals in them. You look at the forward partnerships that they've got now. Stephen Fletcher, very good striker. I think if he's got someone to play off rather than just being him stuck up on his own, I think either Defoe or Fletcher, or whether it's Connor Wickham if he's recovered in time to play, I think they can feed off each other. And I think the fact that they've got 2 men up front would be good. Now, I hope they go with that away from home. There's always the possibility, of course, that Gus Poyet plays very defensively and plays 1 man up front. I think they may well play one man, either a flat 2 up front or just one with 1 behind. I think there will be a little bit more attacking here against Swansea, because Swansea can be quite an open team at home. So I'm going to go for the overs. Whether you want to pair up the draw and overs or not, you get big prices when you start pairing that up. It may be that you just want to take the overs or you just want to take the draw. I'd probably lean towards the overs more than the draw, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
What about both teams to score in the over 2.5 goals? Would that make a better combination?
Yeah, I can see that again. I think Swansea away from home kept that clean sheet at Southampton, maybe a little lucky to do so. I think at home they'll obviously come out a lot more and will attack Sunderland. Sunderland more than happy, more than confident enough to sit back and try and hit them on the break. Definitely see both teams scoring here.
All right, what's the top tip, would you say?
Well, there's one other. I like the over 2.5 goals just as a flat bet. But one other bet that's interesting, and not many bookmakers have priced this up yet. It's usually a bet that gets priced up quite late, maybe on a Friday or a Saturday morning UK time even. And that is which team has the most bookings in the match, which team has the most cards. Now, Sunderland are the worst team in the division for disciplinary record. 68 yellow cards they've had in all their competitions this season. That's in 28 games. In the exact same number of games for Swansea, they've had 43. So 25 card difference between the two. Looked at the last 4 Sunderland away games. They've had the most bookings points in all of those. The last one where they drew was with Newcastle, which is a local derby. So when that price comes out, now I expect them to be odds on, but not too. I won't expect it to be too short. If that's anywhere around, kind of your 8 to 11 mark, just odds on, I'd be looking at that. Sunderland, one of the worst disciplinary team, and Swansea kind of mid-table. So I think Sunderland will have the most yellow cards in the day as well. But the best bet is over 2.5 goals.
Okay, wonderful. Lee Phelps, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.